Geekazine and Geek Smack is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network over at techpodcast.com. If it's tech, then it's here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Jeffrey Powers, and you are on episode number 204 of Geek Smack, the Geek Smack, where we smack the geek like we would smack dog's poop or scoop. I don't know. Anyway, we got a lot of great stuff today. We got the great show, including we're going to talk about the Motorola Razr, the Droid Razr's back. The Razr's back. The touchpad is going to get a software update. We're going to be talking about Siri and how people are way too serious on Siri and a whole lot more. So let's get your Geek Smack underway. Of course, we are brought to you by our friends over at Roku. Go over to Roku, geekazine.com/Roku, and you can get yourself a streaming over-the-top system. By Citrix and GoToMeeting, go over to GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button, and enter in that code podcast for a 30-day free trial. You can listen to all the podcasts over on Stitcher if you go over to Stitcher.com/geek, and that will get you could win yourself $100 right there. All the video that I do is over on Telestream and Wirecast, a great solution for that. So check that out by going over to geekazine.com/Wirecast-Mac or Wirecast PC, depending on which device you use. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get into your Geek Smack for the week. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers, and welcome to Geek Smack. Well, like I said, where we smack the geek out of you like anything else. We're over at Geekazine.com, www.geekazine.com. Think of Geekazine. Take magazine, take out the mag, put in a geek, you got Geekazine.com. We're 2 weeks before Halloween, so I did a little bit of dressing up. Can you see the Halloween stuff? I know it's not much, but I'm going to be doing a little bit more that I can because it's going to be fun next 2 weeks, so Halloween's coming. I'm really excited about that. But what's even more exciting is afterwards, I'm actually going to be going, I was supposed to be going to LA, but I had to do a detour before LA, and the detour is simply going to Detroit back to Ford headquarters because they have something that I can't really talk about. It's on NDA, sorry. But we'll be talking about it as we go, and hopefully I'll let you know come November 1st. But then I hop from Detroit to LA. We do Blog World, and then I hop back here, and I sleep for a week. So anyway, but we still have 2 weeks before that happens. It's going to be really excited. Day in Tech History, of course, everybody likes the new website. Did you check out the new website? We'll take a look right here over at www.dayintechhistory.com. Can't see that cool sidebar that I made. But, of course, all the history podcasts are right there, and you can click on each audio file, and you can get each audio. Like, for instance, on October 18th, the NES was released in New York in 1985. So lots of great tech history, a little bit of geek history, so on and so forth, all over there, over at the Day in Tech History. Of course, www.geekazine.com. We're putting up the subscribe notes, and I'm going forward with the groups. So, basically, our group over at Google Groups is now set up. So when you go over to Geekazine, you'll see on the top, it'll say subscribe. Here, I'll show you right here. Up here, up on top, you see the Google Groups, and it says subscribe to the Geek Smack email group. And once you subscribe there, then that'll get you Geek Smack. Of course, if you go to the Geek Smack at www.thegeeksmack.com, you will get that same box, and you can enter it in there. And then, of course, the show notes will come there every single week. So it's the brand new show note archive. And of course, I'll put that into the show notes as well. So I think that's pretty much it. So I think it's time to smack some tech out of you. So let's get straight to the tech smack. Tech smack. All right, and I'm not 100% ready. Really? That's an old one. Where'd that come from? Oh yeah, that's last week's stuff. I don't know what happened there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start over at PCWorld.com. Yeah, that's the life of a technology one-man show technology thing. Let's get here. All right, we're starting over at PC World. It's the first impressions of Motorola's Shaksha no Droid Razor. Shaksha. Would you like my razor? And I was not too impressed. I was listening to the event or reading the event, however you want to call it, and I was going, this isn't my Droid. This isn't my Razor of past. I was really hoping it was a flip phone, really. But it matches the Samsung Galaxy S. So if you like the Galaxy S, it runs the Android software, of course, and a whole lot more. There's a lot of things that they're gonna report on. It's over at PCWorld.com if you want to read it. But so far, I'm not too impressed. The only thing that's really kind of impressive is the thinness. The funny thing is they're making the phones thinner but wider. So you have like this big half tablet that's about yay thick. And I don't know if I want something like that or not. Do you want something like that? Let me know. Twitter me at Geekazine, or the Twitter's right there, or geekazine@gmail.com. And of course, you can comment on there. I also have the phone number. You can get that in the show notes. That's 608-205-4378. But check this out over at PCWorld.com. Speaking of which, of course, we talked about the Blackberry outage this week. It was some pretty big news, and we're over here on the bbc.co.uk. The biggest thing was this public apology, and ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I can really promote the public apology as something that I would even want if my phone carrier decided to not work for a whole week. 3 days, I think it was 3 days, but still. No email, no internet applications. You could still use the phone. You could still call somebody, which is, but no SMSing, no texting or anything like that. Now, what's pretty interesting about this is they also found that the fatalities or accidents while driving dropped during that 3-day outage, which meant that a lot of people couldn't text as they were using their device, which was interesting side note. But anyway, let's get back to this. They offered $100 in applications, some games, some cool little applications, text-to-speech, a Shazam type application, which is a music identification system. A lot of these applications are $2.99 or less. And if you think about it, if BlackBerry took out their cut from the application, they're basically saying it's $100 in apps, but the reality is we're only paying $30 to $40 per person. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a BlackBerry and if you are not upset because of this, you need to get upset. I'm going to tell you right now, this is not an answer. This is not an offer. 3 months worth of service. That's an answer. That's an offer. Something, an upgrade of some sort that's not an application like that. Not even, like $100, like the TomTom application, just off the top of my head, is now like $60. That would be a nice application to have, but the reality is, if I already bought it, what's the point? I can't have it. Why would I need 2 copies? So I don't think this $100 application buy-off it's just that. It's a buy-off. And they're not even going to be spending $100 on it. Get something that is more tangible. They're down service, so get some free service in between. Get some text messaging up, or there's some data users. If there's data caps or anything like that, get that. But complain, call and complain, call and complain, call and complain. That's the only way that you're gonna get that done. To me, I don't have a BlackBerry, so it doesn't really matter here nor there. But for you, watch your rights right there. bbc.co.uk for that information. All right, let's go over to SlashGear. Touchpad's getting WebOS 3.0.4 as they're starting to ship the back orders. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, why are they updating the software? They're not going to be coming out with WebOS software. They're not going to be continuing on. Well, not necessarily. I mean, HP still has WebOS. Yeah, they discontinued the touchpad, and yeah, they discontinued the Pre 3. They're going to put it on the shelf for just a little bit and see what's going on. But they haven't sold it. They haven't shut it down. They've gotten rid of some of their employees, but they haven't shut it down. It could still, 6 months from now, they could still reignite it and come back. So we'll see what happens. But the biggest thing is they said when they shut down, when Leo Apotheker was still in CEO role, He said, we're shutting it down, but we're not going to shut down the updates. We're still going to develop for it because this OS is still buggy. And you bought a product, and we're going to make this product better for you. So we'll see what happens. Maybe you already got ready to kind of wipe that OS and put on an Android or something like that. If you did, let me know. Twitter me at Geekazine, or geekazine@gmail.com. /gear.com is where you go for that information. All right, have you ever used Dropbox before? I've had it for about 3 years. I haven't paid for it in a while. I just reinstalled Dropbox on the Windows side of my Mac because I had to get some files downloaded to me. But the best part about Dropbox is it becomes a very open community drive if you want it to be. I mean, you can sit there and put files on, and then they can download it from their computer, which is great. Now, see, I have a Pogo plug, which is why I never really got the Dropbox stuff, because I have the Pogo plug. Why do I need to reduplicate my efforts? And the Pogo plug has been doing me pretty well. But at any rate, Dropbox has been doing very well, especially in companies, because now they can have this shared drive. And in fact, it was really interesting. I was at a coffee shop the other day, and these people were doing some programming, and they were talking back and forth, and they go, oh, I need this file, I need this image, I need this image. And they goes, oh, I just put it up on Dropbox, just go and get it. There's a lot of third-party applications for Dropbox. So Dropbox is really becoming this very useful multi-tool for you. So check it out. It's Dropbox, but the article that I'm pointing to over at ft.com, it's ft.com. I don't know what that stands for, but it's ft.com. It was talking about, they did an interview with Drew Houston, and he's talking about how Dropbox has just got another $250 million in new funding, and how they're going to be doing some new cool stuff with Dropbox. So check that out over at ft.com. All right, this is probably why my computer's been going so speedily fast. I hate it when they start running the videos without me saying, hey, stop running the videos. So anyway, there was this article. Apparently, they have the new iPhone application. And this is over on abcnews.go.com, which I might just change the link since they have an automatic video start on there. So let's just switch over here. Basically, what it was you have that new feature on the iPhones, the location finder. So when you check in, it says, hey, Joe is like 3 blocks away, or there's 3 people that you know that are in the same establishment. You go, really? This is really small. I don't see them. Well, there you are in the corner over there. Who would have thought it? Anyway, a wife told the husband, oh, I'm going over to a friend's house. And the husband goes, okay, whatever. She leaves, and he gets a little bit suspicious. Apparently, he's been suspicious this whole time. And he goes and he does this location thing, and he checks into various areas in New Jersey, I believe it was. And he finds that his wife is not where she said she is. Now, I think he deduced, I don't think he barged in to find out that what they were doing. Maybe he was doing a little bit of spying, a little bit of detective work. I don't know. I really don't care. But the whole point is he found her, and now he wants a divorce because she's been cheating on him, apparently. Now, so this is for you, those of you who decide to cheat. Turn off your phone. Turn off the phone, or turn off the location services on your phone. I normally don't keep my location services on when I'm at home because, that's the only private place I am. Although if you look hard enough, you'll know where I live. So other than that, you might want to be a little bit aware of how your phone works a little bit, or else, your cheating heart can be caught on phone. So anyway, check that out over at abcgo.com. Let's move from there. Seattle Times is talking about some Windows Phone Mango. No, it's not a new type of fruit. It's mango, which is a phone, and they're having some problems on the technology. Yeah, they're having technology problems. Anyway, what they're having is some problems. Apparently, the on-screen keyboard disappears, and they're going, "Hey, where'd that on-screen keyboard go?" Yeah, let me just get out my regular QWERTY keyboard and plug that puppy into the phone, and we'll keep going from there. So I don't think you can do that, can you? Somebody make an addition so they can plug it into a phone and they'll have a little USB so you can plug in a keyboard and then you can use the keyboard, a regular keyboard. That'd be kind of cool. It'd be really geeky, but it'd be really cool. Really cool. Anyway, so some Phone Mango users are reporting disappearing keyboards. If you're one of them, check this article out over at seattletimes.com. All right. Bill Gates is preparing to take the witness stand again for the antitrust trials. And you're saying, what? What? It's like 2000 all over again? What? Well, apparently, Gates is going to be on the witness stand again as he's going to testify in the antitrust trials. Now, I've been doing the Day in Tech History a report about the antitrust trials all the time. And my understanding is that they've pretty much closed that up and they couldn't reopen it. So there must be something that's going on here. It's going to be held in Salt Lake City. So if you want to meet Bill Gates, head over to Salt Lake City and maybe you'll get on the jury selection. I don't know. Monday is when it all happens, and the trial is going to be held there. So he's gonna testify. We'll see what happens. Of course, that was between Novell and Microsoft when Novell owned WordPerfect and Microsoft owned Word. Maybe it's a different part of the antitrust trial. But I remember there's one part where they said, we're closing this case and we're not reopening it. So I'm not sure how they're reopening it again. If you want to tell me how, let me know. Twitter me at Geekazine or geekazine@gmail.com. All right, last part of the Tech Smack, and then we'll get you into the Geek Smack stuff. iOS 5 running 1/3 of iOS-based devices. And you're going like, no duh. That's like iOS 5 on iOS devices. Like, no duh. What does this mean? This means within 1 week, Apple has found a way to get people to upgrade their phones, their iPod Touches. And they said if we took out all the 4Ss out of this equation, it's still 31% of people upgraded to iOS 5. I have it on my 3GS. I upgraded that same day. Of course, that was last Wednesday when we had the candlelight vigil for it. Anyway, so a lot of people upgraded, which is a great number because usually it's really tough to get people to upgrade to a new operating system, especially if they don't see any features. I think what happened was a lot of people were thinking, oh, the Siri option is going to be on my phone, so I want to upgrade it today. And then they upgrade their iPhone 4 or the 3GS, and they went, oh, wait a minute, I don't get Siri with my older phone? Maybe I should go buy a 4S. I don't know. A lot of reports out there that are saying that the 4S or the iPhone 4 or even the iPhone 3GS can handle Siri because most of the commands don't happen on the phone. They happen back in the server. We're going to be talking about Siri a little bit later in the show. But right now, that's the end of the Tech Smack section. We're going to get you into Geek Smack crap. But first of all, we got to pay homage to our sponsors. So let's get that out of the way. Stop dreaming, start streaming. That's what Roku says, and I completely agree with them. The Roku 2 is like the cat's meow to anything for live streaming any kind of content, whether it be your Netflix, your Amazon, maybe this show, possibly this show, and a whole lot more. And that's the beauty of Roku. And now they still have the 3 flavors up on Roku's website, but there's actually now the 4th flavor. For as little as $49, you can get yourself a Roku over-the-top television system so you can stream direct to your TV, your Netflix, your Hulu Plus, the Tech Podcast Network, Twit, Coldcast, you have Fast Pitch, HBO Go is coming to the Roku, and a whole lot more. You got a lot of great options. It's a great little box, and I use it all the time. When I watch over-the-top television, when I'm upstairs relaxing, I'm watching it on a Roku because I can access the stuff, and then every now and then I can just play some Angry Birds. That's at the $99 level, but you do have that option to get that. So prices start at $49, so it's a great holiday gift. So go over to geekazine.com/Roku. Of course, that's going to help Geek Smack and all the Geekazine properties. Geekazine.com/Roku. And you can find out how you can get yourself a Roku Entertainment Center for as little as $49 and no more than $99. It's the all-new Roku 2, and that's geekazine.com/Roku. Geek Smart Crap. And as I'm doing this, I realize that my mask is over there. Phooey McPhee. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hey, this is my mask. Hey, how's it going? Hey. Anyway, I don't know. I'm going insane. It's time for your Geek Smack Crap, and of course, all during the month of October, we have your Halloween fix and Ween Smack Crap. And of course, we've got 2 weeks, so whatever I suggest here, you can actually go get it in time. And we're going to talk about costumes because you know those costume contests are coming up really, really soon. And of course, you want to win that free trip to Vegas or the $3,000 for the first place, whatever you get for your costume contest. Maybe it's a free beer or something like that. I don't know. I've been to costume contests where you could get some pretty cool swag for dressing up really, really like something that nobody even thought of. So maybe I'll give you some suggestions here. And for some reason, oh yeah, I had that little bug. I forgot about that. All right, well, where'd I go? Here I am. How's it going? All right, we're gonna start over here on the Amazon store. Of course, I was always a big Spy versus Spy fan. It was never really a black spy versus white spy. I loved them both, and my thing was I always counted up the wins. So I kept reading on, and every month when I read the new Spy versus Spy, I had an ongoing count of how many times the white spy defeated the black spy and how many times the black spy defeated the white spy. And it was pretty close. I think the black spy actually was on top of everything by like 3 or 4 when all my numbers were done. But anyway, if you want to be Spy versus Spy, here you go. Spy versus Spy accessory kit for the adult. Now, they have these full body... I was over at the Halloween store. They have these full body suits, which I'll put into the store here. They have these full body suits that you can get in different colors, including the green that I need for my green screen, which I'm thinking of going over there to get. So, of course, you can get white, full tights in white or black, and then, of course, you get the hat and the shirt and the mask. This one is available, and it comes in black or white. And, of course, is anywhere from $21.95 to $56.99. Get the $21.95 if you can. But that's over at the Amazon store, so check that out. Another one is, if you're the Jedi that everybody speaks about, these are the robes you are looking for. Yes, it's called the Deluxe Jedi Robe. It's only $49.99 and looks pretty cool. It's a ThinkGeek item. And, of course, it can ship in 1 to 2 business days. So get it going and get your robe and be a Jedi Knight. Now, I've been thinking about this. It's like, do Jedi Knights get, like, uniforms? Do they get regulation uniform? Because they're always wearing the robes and the cloths and stuff like that. That doesn't normally change. So it's like, you're a Jedi Knight. Here's your clothes. Here you go. Here's your regulation clothing. How does the clothing not get in the way from the lightsaber? I don't know. We also got the lightsaber, by the way, on the store, so check that all out for your Halloween costume. Well, if you don't want to dress up, if you want, like me, it's like, I don't want to dress up for Halloween, at least this episode right now. Don't want to dress up for Halloween. I just want to have some cool swag for Halloween. Well, this is the coolest swag I have found out there, and it's over on ArchieMcPhee.com, and I love, this is the best thing I've ever seen. It's a remote control walking zombie. And of course, it's not going to be, it's not like a robot or anything like that. It won't go fetch you a beer. But you press the button, and it's wireless, and it's going to start walking. And it's actually pretty decently priced. And they got some different pictures here on how he looks. And of course, you can get the full remote control zombie. It takes, I think, a AAA battery. And only $24.95. This is over on ArchieMcPhee.com, and I'm pretty impressed. I'm thinking of getting one. Maybe I'll get it in time to actually have it run around this place for next week's Geek Smack. I don't know. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is your Geek Smack for this week. All right. I like to say business toolbox. And the reason why I say business toolbox is because you got so many tools that you can use on a day-to-day basis that let you make business, create new opportunities. And this is one of them, Citrix and GoToMeeting with HD faces. Now, let me tell you something. As a phone support person in previous life, I remember when you're on the phone, you're going, yeah, can I help you? I got a problem. Okay, how's the problem work? Well, it goes like this. Okay, and they're explaining an elephant, and I'm thinking a mouse. And because of that, I can't solve their problems. But you get a program like where you can actually see them face to face. You can see expressions. You can share desktops. You can control desktops if need be. So you can get the solutions to all your needs. And that's the power of GoToMeeting by Citrix. It's a great program. We use it all the time over at the Tech Podcast Network. And the fact that you can now do up to six people watching in a meeting, you can see the reactions on people's faces and go, wait a minute, Tom, you don't like what I just said. Why is that? And there's a lot more you can do with GoToMeeting and HD Faces. Don't take my word for it. Give it a try yourself. 30 days for free. To do this special offer, all you have to do is go over to GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button, enter in the code podcast. Once again, GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free Now button, and enter in that code podcast. And that's going to get you 30 days of this great software that you can use anywhere, anytime on your PC, on your Mac, even on an iPad. And that's the best part. GoToMeeting.com by Citrix. GoToMeeting.com, try it free, and enter in that code podcast.
Geek Smack.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Yeah, the bar's still there. I'm gonna fix it and do it this week. Just keep forgetting. Sorry. Anyway, it's time for your Geek Snack. And we're gonna start over at laughingsquid.com because I'm laughing, and that's how that works. They're talking about some researchers at the University of Miyazaki in Japan. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Miyazaki. I need some sake. And then check this out. But anyway, it's for those who have disabilities. Now, before I get into this, I just want to talk about this really quick because I was over at the Apple store the other day, and I saw these guys get a couple new iPads. One of them was actually in a wheelchair, and I remember I used to help people with disabilities, mental disabilities, and physical disabilities. And they used to get these big boards that had a whole bunch of pictures and words like dog and cat and stuff like that. And basically, their hands would be like this because they couldn't form for some reason they couldn't form a hand or move their hands too much. So then they would point at dog, and they'd have like verbs and nouns and stuff like that. And then that would be how they communicated. Well, now it's this iPad which is like the size a lot smaller, which is really cool. Well, what if you got rid of that iPad altogether? And that's where we're going with this on this. For all of you people in the medical profession, your medical geeks out there, check this out. This is the researchers are figuring out how they can use facial recognition to move around the wheelchair. To get to control what they need to control. Like for instance, maybe it would also control the mouse on the screen a screen. It would help them go forward, go backward, turn left, turn right. Just like a person that lost an arm, to open and close the claw, you conditioned your muscles so the claw would open and close. It's pretty cool. And they'd like to see something come out in 2012. They got a video here. I'm not going to show the video, but you can check that out. It's over at laughingsquid.com. And ladies and gentlemen, for all you medical geeks out there, that's actually pretty cool stuff. So you can check that out at laughingsquid.com. If you know anybody that's working on something like that, also let me know. Twitter me at Geekazine and say, hey, yeah, that's the greatest thing. If you've seen somebody create something or some sort of application in the medical field that helps people with disabilities. All right, Let's move from here. If you are a gurgitation geek, gurgitation geek, that's basically a person that can eat a lot. You know, like the hot dog champions and the spaghetti champions and the pie eating champions, so on and so forth. Well, one of them is, his name is Kobayashi. I hope I pronounced that right. Anyway, he entered in some contest. Hot dogs apparently were not enough for him, so he decided to go for eggs, and he ate 32 eggs, hard-boiled eggs, I believe they are, and of course without the shell, in 32 in 1 minute. 32 eggs in 1 minute. His cholesterol is now up to here. I don't know, but it's interesting how gurgitators eat and how they work, because they can, some of them can actually open up their is it the larynx? They can open up their throat, so they can just kind of slide things in and let it go down pretty much whole. And they've got, I don't know if they've got bigger stomachs or not. I know that, you know, I couldn't do that. I could probably eat like 2 hot dogs. I mean, it looks like I got a big stomach, but in all reality, a couple hot dogs and I'm pretty much done. So, I don't know. I wish I could be like Kobayashi, who's eating like 32 eggs and is just like, look at how thin I am. I don't know. Anyway, if you want to check this out, if you're a gurgitation geek, that's the official term for it. You can check it out over at HuffingtonPost.com. For all you camera geeks out there, Canon's produced the 50-meter EOS series SLR cameras with the 70-meter EF lens. I know that was just a lot to say right there. The EOS camera series with EF lens production cycle, they have 50 million EOS series SLR digital cameras and 70 million EL lenses. Dude, did I say meter? I meant million. I'm brain dead. So congratulations to Canon. They have 50 million of the EOS series and the 70 million of the EL series lenses. So you must have a Canon out there. I know I've got, well, my video camera's a Canon. So if you've got a digital SLR and you don't need it anymore, you know, you can always send it to me. Just mail me at geekazine@gmail.com. I'll put it to good use. In fact, we'll use it for CES, which is coming up very, very soon. Very, very soon. So check that out over at slashgear.com. For all you Back to the Future geeks, or maybe you're a DeLorean geek or whatnot, you need to be in rejoicement. Is rejoicement a word? I don't know. It could be. Anyway, you can be in rejoicement. You can be in outjoicement. I don't know. You could just be a Joyce in a house. That's a possibility right there. But you need to rejoice because the DeLorean is back. Well, it's not really back, but it's back. I don't know why I've got to talk like this, but it's back. I don't know. The DeLorean is going to be coming back in 2013. It will become an electric car, so it'll be called the DeLorean EV, I believe, is going to be the official term. So you'll be able to get yourself your very own DeLorean. Of course, it won't have a Mr. Fusion in it, or it won't go up to 88 miles per hour and take you to 1968. But you know, it's the DeLorean. Hello, the DeLorean. I wonder how many license plates out of time will be, if every state is probably already snatched up already, out of time. I don't know. The price, of course, there's no real price on it. I'm assuming it's going to be a good price point. Still not a car for me because it's way too small. Can't fit a drum set in there. I'm not interested. So anyway, go over to goodcleantech.pcmag.com. You can find out more. Speaking of cars and car geeks, take a look at this and you'll go to yourself, what the heck is that on top of this car? Well, of course, you probably read a little bit of this if you're watching the video. It's Google's new self-driving car. And it's an autonomous vehicle, as they call it on spectrum.ieee.org. It's a Toyota Prius now fitted with the remote car information. And of course, they've been testing it out. It's been logged with more than 190,000 miles to it on private tracks. So, and of course, it raced around a closed circuit course. But I'm not ready to have my car take control for me, so I don't think I'll be getting that, especially with that weird thing on top. I don't know. I mean, I suppose it's better than the Google. If you've seen a Google Street View car, it's a lot better than that. Would this then double as a Street View car? Would it start taking pictures as you drive, updating everything? I got to go to the store and back. Just updated the route. Good job for me. I don't know. Anyway, check that out. It's over at spectrum.ieee.org. Are you ready for those types of cars? Let me know. Twitter me at Geekazine. Are you ready for winged robots? I don't know. Twitter me. Oh, I love this. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Not this one, but we talked about, I think it was Stanford was making bugs and stuff like that for rescue attempts. And I just wanted to show you this little winged robot because it's so colorful. And it's over on wired.com, so check that out. I think they have some video on that. Yeah, there's some video down there on this little robot right here. So it looks like something you can actually make if you're into making and programming stuff. So anyway, that's over on wired.com. All right, let's go over to Huffington Post again. Ipetus, I think that's how you pronounce it. Ipetus. It's a Saturn has this moon that starts with an I. And scientists believe, this is for science geeks, of course. Scientists believe that this moon had its own moon. So would that be a sub-moon? Would that be a child moon? Would that be a moon? If that moon hit the dark side of your moon, would it be a double dark side? Would it be a double rainbow dark side moon? I don't know. But of course, they found some debris apparently, and that's what they determined was this debris used to be the moon of Icarus. It's not Icarus. It's Iapetus. And now I'm full. Too many eggs. Anyway, for all you science geeks, that's pretty cool news. A moon that can travel around a moon. Think about it. Have you ever seen any science fiction where they talk about a moon traveling around a moon? Submoon? Whatever you want to call it. You're getting mooned twice no matter what. I don't know. HuffingtonPost.com for that. Over at Business Unusual, they talk about a really interesting website. It's called the Extreme Slingshot Channel. 32 eggs, yes. And of course, they got some great videos over there, and we're not going to show the videos because I don't know what the copyrights are on them. But he's got some really interesting slingshots. This is this one right here is the full auto Gatling slingshot, and it's got like eight bands on it or something like that. Craziness. The things people think of. Craziness. It's over at businessunusual.net, so check it out. It's for you slingshot geeks, because there are slingshot geeks out there. Yes. Brand new geek. Who would have thunk it? All right, last part of the Geek Smack side. You know, we talked about robots a couple times already. So you got your robot fix. Well, I'm going to give you one more. We're going to give you extra robot. One more robot. And this one has a useful job. If you've got a dog. If you don't have a dog, it's probably not going to be worth a darn thing. Anyway, this is a pooper scooper dog. Pooper scooper dog. It's scooping your pooping. The PR2 is they call it the pool hustling, beer fetching, male pleasuring, cookie baking, grocery packing robot, and also can pick up after the dog. So if your backyard is nice and mowed, because it doesn't look like he's got good wheels on the bottom. So if you haven't mowed your lawn or you got some really tough terrain, that robot's not going out to pick up some pooper scooper stuff. But if the dog did the business over on the sidewalk or something like that, he's probably golden. And he can go, let me pick that up for you. And pick it up, put it into the bucket, and say, here you go. Would you like a beer now? Here, I'm going to use the same hand that I used to pick up the pooper stuff on there. Maybe I'll give some Scooby snacks after that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's over on Geekaloogie, Geekalog, whatever you want to call it, Geekaloogie.com. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your Geek Smack for this week. We got the featured article about Siri. Let's not get so serious at this point. But first, this. Of course, we support Stitcher and Stitcher.com because they got a great program over there. You can listen to your podcasts like the Geekazine, Geek Smack Show, The Day in Tech History, and a whole bunch of other podcasts on the go through your mobile device, whether it be an Apple device, whether it be an Android device, whether it be a Blackberry device, whether it be a Web OS device. You've got multiple options and a great program in Stitcher. Plus, they have a whole lot more over on Stitcher.com. But the cool thing is you can win yourself $100. How do you do that? By going over to Stitcher.com/geek, Stitcher.com/geek, and that will get you an entry once you put in the promo code GEEK, and then, of course, enter in your email address, and that'll get you an entry into the chance to win $100. And they draw $100 at the end of each month, so it's a pretty cool little device. And even if you already have it, go download it again and win yourself $100. That's over at Stitcher.com/geek. And of course, that helps the Geekazine podcasts and Geek Smack. So check it out and become more mobile with your podcasts on the go with Stitcher. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last part. And let's then, we're entitled this, Let's Not Get So Serious on Siri just yet, or something like that. We'll figure out the topic. But anyway, everybody's been talking about this great new feature. And of course, I think this was the savior for the iPhone S, because if you followed the last couple weeks, basically was everybody was expecting an iPhone 5. Didn't happen. Got the iPhone 4S. Everybody was upset. Then Steve Jobs passed away, and everybody felt bad because they didn't get behind this new product. But then they found out, hey, it's got Siri on it. And as we talked about before, a lot of people probably thought that Siri could actually be put onto their phones, like I have the 3GS, and they found out that Siri doesn't download with iOS 5, so now they have to go get a 4S. Well, 4S has been pretty much flying off the shelves, and some people, apparently the Sprint customers, are not too happy because they're not getting their promises met. But a lot of other people are getting the 4S because of the Siri features. And a lot of people have been finding that there's ways to hack into your iPhone 4 to actually get Siri to work on your iPhone 4. Neither here nor there. The biggest thing was Siri started becoming a big term. Now, Siri, there's a question as to how the name Siri came about. Siri actually is short for Sigrid, which is a female name. So that could be Siri. Of course, Siri is also a fictional character in a book, and I can't remember the name of the author's book, that could have come up with Siri. But then again, the investment firm, the venture capital funding firm, was called SRI, or SRI, basically. So that could have been how Siri came about, because one of the investors was big on this technology. So either way, we've got Siri. It's a pretty cool little product, but it doesn't work all the time. It's got problems to it. And everybody's now complaining. So they went from happiness. It's like, oh, wait, I got Siri. It's looking good. I'm taking all these cool questions, asking questions like, will you marry me? And it says it's not in my end user license agreement. And they go, oh, okay. Now they're starting to ask questions and they're getting lags in the response time. And they're wondering why. Well, the reason why is because what happens, how Siri works, is basically you pull out your phone, you hold down the button, and Siri pops up. You tap on the button and you say, Siri, how do I get to the movie theater? It goes and it recognizes the voice, and it deciphers the question. So it comes up with, how do I get to the movie theater? It then will go back to Apple's servers, and it will find the answer, and then that'll bring it back to the phone. So it's all dependent on what type of connection you have, whether it be a 3G connection, a Wi-Fi connection, or whatnot. And so it comes back and it gives you the answer. I asked Siri at the Apple store, who's cooler than Siri or something like that? And it came back and it gave me the weather, the temperature, which was pretty interesting, but I suppose. Okay, so, but now everybody's complaining because they're all using it, and they're all using it for silly things like, will you marry me, Siri? It's not in my end user license agreement. And so the servers are getting bogged down. So Apple needs to go on and fix that and update those servers. Now, the reality is this. Siri is in beta. Don't forget that. Because whatever you do, if any mistake happens and you complain to Apple, you know what they're going to do? They're going to come back and say, well, it's in beta right now. What do you expect? It happens. Siri is in beta because it's not ready for prime time. But they wanted to get it out to you because it's a great feature. And it really is a great feature. Now, there's another factor that I want to talk about really, really quick about this, and I'm not gonna linger on this too much because I don't want to be the person. I'm bringing out some thoughts here on conspiracy theories. That's the word I'm trying to think of. I don't want to be that theorist, but the reality is, when you start asking Siri questions, where are these questions going? These questions are now going back to the servers to get deciphered and translated. What happens to that data? Now, I didn't set up a phone with Siri on it. I couldn't read that end user license agreement with Siri on it. So my question is, what does the because Siri says it's not in my end user license agreement when you ask her to marry her. So what would happen? What is in that end user license agreement? Is it another, hey, we're going to be just like Facebook and we're going to collect data and we're going to sell it off to companies and we're going to come up with the best system possible? Or is it something where, hey, we're protecting your data? We're protecting the questions you ask on the phone, because the questions you ask on the phone really are between you and Siri on the phone. Just like if you had a personal assistant and I asked my personal assistant to type up a letter. That information is between me and the personal assistant. Still a lot of questions that need to be asked and answered about Siri. The one thing that I really am curious about is how that end user license agreement is written. And I'm going to be looking it up because there's got to be something on there. There's got to be some sort of nomenclature on there, because if they don't have that, then I could see some people coming up and saying, I had this meeting and it was completely private and now everybody knows about it. Or I'm getting ads on my on things that are talking about this meeting, which was supposed to be private. Privacy is a big issue, and that's what I'm wondering what's going on with Siri. So, am I serious about Siri? Yeah, a little bit serious about Siri. I don't know how they're handling my data, just like with Facebook. Something to think about. Now, I might just be blowing smoke right now, but until I can read an actual end user license agreement, what you agree to, what you don't agree to, I got to think to myself that every time I talk into that phone, it's sending that information back to Apple to better their database or to sell data. Not data, the Android on Star Trek, but your actual words, your data. Yeah, everybody's got a data. Who would have thunk it? Everybody's got a data. That's kind of cool. Anyway, I want you to tell me your thoughts, your ideas, your dreams, your rationalities, your geek stories over at Geekazine. Twitter me at Geekazine or geekazine@gmail.com. You can also call the hotline at 608-205-4378. And of course, I'll listen to everything that you say. This is kind of interesting. But anyway, that does it for the Geek Smack. We're done with Geek Smack for the week. We've got so much to do. Check everything out over at Geekazine. Of course, the Day in Tech History is separating from Geekazine. It's now on its own website over at dayintechhistory.com. You know, I did this show. One of the things I said was I'm going to try and make this 30 minutes or less, and I'm hitting the old time numbers. But the best part about this show is you can take it in doses. And this week we're going to try this on YouTube. I'm going to actually use the edit feature to split this show up into 3 sections. So you can actually watch Geek Smack, Tech Smack, and Geek Smack Crap. 3 separate sections. And of course, this part right here, which I'll see if I can attach it onto Tech Smack, because I think that'll work best. But that's what I'm going to try with this episode, so check that out over at youtube.com. Of course, if you get it through the regular feeds, then that's not going to help you there. But, you know, this is a Creative Commons no derivative license, which means you can give this show to all your friends and your friends' friends and your friends' friends' friends. But if you charge, I want some money. So give me some money if you charge. Give me no money if it's free, because percentage from 0 is still 0. Anyway, my name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening if you are listening to the podcast. We're going to be back next week. Of course, Day in Tech History is every single day. We've got a whole bunch of other stuff. The zip car video for the special media feed. If you haven't subscribed to the special media feed, do so now. And you'll get that going from there. So, my name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching and listening. We'll see you next week on Geekish of Schmeckish, the Geek Smack.